All right, this is like take three. I ran out of storage on the last one though, so starting over again. Shalom and blessings, everybody. It's been on my heart to speak to y'all about forgiveness and how forgiveness has helped me in so many ways, not just for the simple fact of like forgiving because it's the right thing to do, but forgiving because you're you're provided healing from it. Um, just to give you a little backstory about me, just a little bit of my history. I grew up in California, in the LA area, and in the San Bernardino area for most of my youth. Um, I had a single mom who had five girls. I am four of the five. My little sister and I grew up together very close. As far as my older three, they weren't around. Um, I don't really have too many memories of them from my childhood. So it was always me and my little sister. My father was not around. He's alive, just not present in our life. Uh, he had other children, and that was his life, with his other children. Fine. My mom raised us, single mother. She Let me just say this now, okay? I love my mother very much. And though we had a hard, rocky past, I forgave her long time ago. I forgave her before I even came to the faith. Um, I've always believed in chances, and I've always had hope for better, regardless of what I've been shown in history, you know? Um, so just to start off with that, like I love my mom, and when she passed suddenly, but we had a great relationship. Our relationship grew and grew, and I've got nothing bad to say about her. As she got older, she got more wise, but she was still, she needed to forgive a lot still. And I just don't know if she was able to before she passed away. Back to the subject, right? Um, Forgiveness. So, my mom was a drug addict, and she was very focused on her men and partying. And we always stayed with someone. We didn't have our own place for a long time. It was very sparse. If we did have our own place, it didn't last very long. Uh, so lots of sleeping on people's couches, lots of, sharing bedrooms with other people, so on and so on. Strangers in and out because, we're in someone else's house. We don't know everybody they know. That's just the way it goes. With that, I and my little sister got to encounter tons of abuse. Uh, I will not speak for her, I will only speak for myself and my experience. And my experience growing up from, we're going to say, when I was born, I don't know, um, to when I was 12, almost 13, because about a month, I believe, before my 13th birthday, I was adopted, my little sister and I, by other family members. So before being adopted, we grew up place to place, couch to couch, sharing rooms. My mom would party, drop us off at neighbors' houses, friends' houses, families' houses. And in that, uh, I got to suffer a a good amount of abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. There was lots of verbal abuse from multiple sources. Okay. With that abuse, um, going into like, my early teenage years, my family that had adopted me once I turned 13, they did the best they could, or they tried. So I very much appreciate that, because had they not picked us up, who knows where I would have ended up. You know, I probably wouldn't even be alive, and that's honest. Just because even as I was like 11 years old, I remember running the streets and getting into all kinds of trouble, stealing and vandalism and fighting, drinking at 11 years old. Like, just so bad. My mom was the type of woman who, you get up, you do your chores, and then you leave. Like, you go play outside, go somewhere, go to your friends. Don't come back until it's late. Don't come back till the street lights come on. So I had a lot of free reins to do whatever I wanted, and she had zero idea. The only thing I had to do was take my sister with me. My little sister had to go with me everywhere I went, and so in that, I probably was not the best role model for her. But I was only just doing what I wanted, what I could, what I thought like normal was, you know. Found kids to hang out with who also, kind of lived the same lifestyle. Parents didn't really care too much. They were too focused on their own lives and just wanted the kids out of the way. So, like, my friends, or the little friends that I did have at that time, were my family until they weren't my friends anymore, because, you know, kids are stupid. They just are. Like, especially kids that aren't being guided. They make bad choices. They fight for stupid things. They mistreat other people for dumb reasons, like, just petty, you know? Dealt with a lot of bullies growing up. Uh, Girls didn't like me very much. Even though I always tried to, like, be accepted, there was just nothing I could do. They would always be mean to me. Um, I'd have people tell me, well, it's because you're pretty, they don't like you. I never understood what that was about or what that meant, really. I thought it was dumb, because I like pretty people and I want to be friends with pretty people. Why wouldn't I, you know? But not all pretty people are really pretty people, because eventually the insides seep out, and then you're not so pretty anymore. I've had friends turn on me and literally, like, go to my house to jump me and fight with me, fist fight. Uh, let's see. So, growing up without a lot of love is probably one of the worst things that can happen to a child, especially in the early years of growing. Um, I'm sure my mother tried to love us. I'm sure she did love us, but she didn't show it very often or very much. Uh, she, when she was on drugs, she was a different person. And I'm pretty sure if you've known anybody who was ever on drugs, or if you yourself were ever on drugs, you know you're not the same person. So I don't hold it against my mother. Like I said, I forgave her. But when she was on drugs, she was a very cold hearted woman. And she could be very, very mean. She would beat me till blood was coming out of my nose, rip chunks of hair out of my head, and leave scars and bruises all over my body. She would break things on me. She would hit me with whatever she can get her hands with, and if not, then it was closed fist and smacks all the way. Like, it wasn't her. It wasn't the mother I got to know after. It's a completely different person. But growing up with that and after being taken away from her, I grew a lot of hatred towards her. I grew a lot of just just malice feelings I had towards her. I didn't want nothing to do with her because I was like, you just suck. You're a horrible person. You're a horrible mom. That was my view. And granted, at the time she was, okay? I'm not lying, but I'm not bashing her name because she turned into a good person, a beautiful person. And no, she wasn't perfect, but she was trying. And that's all I ever wanted from her after was for her to try. And the moment she started trying was the moment I forgave her. She started trying after my children were born. That's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, after I had my first son, my second son, it was actually after my second son is when I actually let her come around because I didn't want her around me. I didn't trust her. I didn't want her to treat my children the way she treated me, and I didn't want her to show them bad habits and things that I just wasn't going to stand for because I knew I had always known when I become a mom, I'm going to take care of my children. I'm going to love my children. Growing up, I had always searched for love, and it was seriously in all the wrong places. I searched for love in friends. I searched for love in boyfriends. I searched for love in strangers. I anybody who was willing to love me. I just wanted love. That all came at a cost because it only led to me being more and more hurt. Now, before reading the Bible, before actually absorbing the words and wanting to understand and wanting to live a true life that I was meant to live, everything was chaos. You know, I did what I wanted, how I wanted, and I was pretty heartless. I was pretty cold to people. I didn't trust anybody because of everything that's had happened to me. You know, I didn't believe anybody because I constantly seen people lying to each other all the time. I didn't believe in like good relationships because all I seen was people cheating on each other, husbands and wives cheating on each other, lying to each other, hiding things from each other. I've seen this my whole life. You know, from early years, youth years to my teenage years. I seen it everywhere. Like there was nobody seemed to be faithful to them to anybody. Everybody was very selfish. Everybody was very lustful. Everybody was very vain. Nobody talked about God. Nobody talked about our creator, our Elohim, our Yah. And I think that's where everybody's kind of gone wrong. I think that's probably why there's so much hurt in this world. And there's so many people hurting right now because they're living a life outside of his purpose. Anyways, so forgiveness. The reason why I bring this up is because I had to go through all kinds of things in my childhood that I had to learn to forgive. People I had to learn to forgive. Myself having to learn to forgive because I've done things that I'm not proud of. I've done things that I wish I could take back. I've done things that I am ashamed of. But I can't take any of it back, right? Living with guilt can just make you sick. It can make you depressed. Living with unforgiveness can make you sick physically, and it can just make you angry, which also will physically make you sick. The way we think, the way we act, the way we speak, it affects us. You might not know it, but it does, and it plays a really big role in our life. And I've been on this path, if you will. Sounds so cliche, but of just healing and forgiveness. And I've noticed they go hand in hand. You can't heal fully without forgiving fully. And you can't accept his love fully without the forgiveness, because he forgave us, right? He forgave me, and I believe this with all my heart. He forgave me for the things that I've done. And though, yeah, I can't take it back, but I can change what I do every day from then on. And that's exactly what I've chose to do, is I chose to change what I do every day ever since I cried out to the Lord and I asked him, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Because I'm so ready to not be here anymore. I had experienced so much hurt and so much disappointment. And it wasn't up until 5-6 years ago, I sat down crying in my bedroom. I'm 36 years old. Okay? So about 30 years old, 31 years old, I'm crying in my bedroom, contemplating suicide because everything just felt like a sham. Everything just felt like a lie. You know, the things that I felt in my heart, what love should be, I never saw it. And the things like I felt like marriage should be, I didn't see it. The way I felt like children should be treated and loved, like I didn't get that. The way that I thought was like wholesome and good and right, like I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see it, to be honest, until I met my mother-in-law. And let me tell you, that lady got the love for y'all like no one I've ever met before. Her love for him, her desire to please him and to trust him is like none I've ever experienced before in my life. And I thank that lady so much for showing me the love and the truth she showed me, bringing me to the word, introducing me. I had a grandpa, and yes, no, he was not my biological grandpa. He was actually my uncle's father. But he loved God. And every time we saw him in my young teenage years, 14, 15, 13, he'd always preach the word. And nobody ever wanted to hear it because he had something to say to everybody about the bad things they were doing. Like, you know, he didn't care. He was here to do his job. And his job was to tell everybody about God and for everybody to get right with him. And so nobody wanted to talk to him. Nobody wanted to hear what he had to say. And I think about it now, and I'm always like, thank you. Thank you, Grandpa. I wish I would have listened then instead of just passed by and like, yeah, 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 like everybody else did. Now I know what he meant when he would say the things that he would say. Now I understand his heart and where he was coming from. You were not my real grandpa. You were good to me. And I loved you. And I'm so thankful for you planting those seeds when you planted them, because even though it might seem like I was ignoring, they stayed. I'm very observant. I take everything in. I constantly watch people. I constantly listen. I'm very aware of my surroundings and the people I'm around. I can read a room like no one's business, and I can feel energy. It might as well be my feelings. Yah has blessed me, and I think because I had to go through all the darkness that I went through is for a reason. He sensitized me to a point I'm like so tenderized. You wouldn't even believe. So that I can feel everything that I feel, and so that I can see everything that I see. It was all for a reason. Yeah, it was hard. I've spent countless nights crying. I've spent countless nights alone. I've spent nights out on the street by myself, sleeping in bushes and at parks and on church doorsteps. Even even as an adult, I experienced abuse. You know, I had a very abusive boyfriend who was discharged from the Navy, and I should have ran when his parents told me to. They were like, you don't need to be with this guy. You should really leave him alone. He's got problems. And I was like, I mean, I've got problems, you know. I could help him. I could just love him, because, you know, at the end of the day, if we just love somebody, it can get better. Because that's what I thought. I thought if I had love, I could get better. But the love was not real love. And that's where you got to have discernment to know what true love is and to know what convenient love is. Now, my mother-in-law gave me true love. She met me with open arms, and then she gave me a gift. And you know what that gift was? It was the word. She shared the word with me. And then she offered me peace and salvation through that word. She prayed for me, and she still prays for me, because I need it. Boy, do I need it. Again, health, right? Clarity, healing. So, most of the people who know me know I'm an all natural girl now. For these past 4 years or so, I everything natural, everything holistic, everything non-synthetic. I mean, just give it to me raw. I want raw and real. I don't want fake. And that's exactly what I've been purging myself from, is fake and selfishness. I don't want to be a selfish person. I don't want to live a life of selfishness. And I don't want to raise my children to live that lie. Because, yeah, selfishness might get you some things here, but it ain't gonna get you anywhere up there. And at the end of the day, we all gotta die and we all gotta go somewhere. Believe it or not, like it or not, it is what it is, and it's the truth. Read the word front to back. Front to back. It will tell you in multiple ways. When I cried out to Yah in my bedroom for something more, that life, there's got to be more to life, but I'm just not seeing it. I need to know why I'm here because I don't want to be here. That's what I was telling him. I need to know if you are there, I need you to be here because I'm ready to go. And when he told me to start from the beginning, I took it and I ran. I took it and I started from the beginning like if it was going to save my life, like my life depended on it. And guess what? It did. It did save my life. And my life does depend on it every day. Every day I need his guidance because I am a human and I'm not perfect. I've got feelings, I've got opinions, but all I want is truth. I can do without everything else. I can learn to manage everything else as long as I got truth. And that's what he gave me, was the truth. He gave me the truth. He gave me history. And he gave me forgiveness for all the bad things I've done, all the wrong I did. We can get into that another time if you're interested. But it wasn't until I started this healing journey, right? Healing from trauma, from things that have happened to me, things that I've witnessed, things that I've done. I'm not about blaming anybody. I take ownership and I've repented for the things that I've done. Serious, long, hard repentance. And the way that I give back to y'all for forgiving me is I don't go there anymore. I don't have the same mind frame, the same mindset as I did before. I don't have the same feelings as I did before. I don't have the same wants as I did before. I don't have the same needs as I did before. He healed me by forgiving me. But in forgiving me, I had to forgive as well. It's not a one-way street. I had to learn and pray, a lot of prayer, to forgive the people who've hurt me in my past, from young to current, okay? Because hurting doesn't stop with life because you choose Messiah, because you choose Elohim, because you choose to walk the path you were made to walk. Doesn't mean things are easy. Doesn't mean things people are gonna not mistreat you. It doesn't mean that they're gonna not hurt you. Doesn't mean bad things aren't gonna happen. This is life. Everybody's got the same free will. Not everybody makes the same choices. I'm doing my best to make the best choices, to make the right choices, to be the daughter I was created to be the mother I was created to be the wife I was created to be the friend, the sister I was created to be. But in that, I can't be anything until I've learned to heal and forgive myself, to forgive others. You know, When you don't forgive somebody, you turn real bitter. And that bitter starts to show and take over and grow and grow and grow. It's like a cancer. And then the more you feed that bitterness, the bigger it gets. The more you keep giving that cancer sugar, the more your cancer is going to expand, right? Multiply. So I needed to stop being sweet to myself and ignoring these things and pretending like they never happened and hating these people that did it to me, and just learn to let it go. Let it go and give it to y'all. Give it to the Creator, because He knows. He knows what happened. Do I blame Him for what happened? Absolutely not. Now that I know what free will is, I don't blame Him. I used to blame Him. Yeah, I did. Why? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen? Why? Why so much hurt? Why so much pain? Why? It's not Him doing it. He tried to warn me. He tried to show me. I was never provided the warning. I had to basically pull my head out of my butt and grow up. And just, if I want something good, if I want something better, I gotta work for it. I gotta search for it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm working for it. And I'm searching for it. If you're looking for peace, and if you're looking for freedom, whether it be freedom from other people or freedom from yourself, because sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. Try to forgive. I forgive people all the time now. It's really not that hard. I just, my eyes are set on another goal, on other things. And so the pettiness of the world, I don't care about. I've had people talk about me. I've had people lie about me. Currently, I've had people lose my trust. I forgive them. If they're sorry or not, if they care or not, I forgive them. I don't need somebody to tell me they're sorry and apologize for me to forgive them. Because at the end of the day, my life doesn't stop with those people, whoever they may be, past, present, future. Life doesn't stop. The mission doesn't stop. My goal doesn't stop. My calling isn't over because of someone. I just need to forgive. And if I can't live a life of forgiveness, then I can't continue to proceed on this path of where I'm going. And I'm going to tell you, this path is good. It's nice. I love it. It's well worth everything. Who are you to not be able to forgive? Especially, and this is especially, okay, if you're claiming to be a child of the Most High, the creator of the universe. How can you claim that if you can't forgive? How can you claim that if you can't love? Just think about that. There's nothing in this world we can't forgive. I know that might sound really hard or really stupid to some of you. You know, well, what if you were raped, or what if your child was murdered, or what if your child was raped, or what if, I get it. And you know what? I lived a life in those dark places. I've worked a job where I've seen it all the time. Just such disgusting things. Like I said, forgiveness isn't for that other person. Forgiveness is so that you can move on. The forgiveness is for you, so that you and him can move on. Because life doesn't stop at that situation, at that horrific situation, however horrific it may be, however unbearable it may be, how you can't think about it or speak about it. There's nothing worth holding you back from what you're intended to do, from what you were made be. You're truly a child of Yah, because we all are, whether we like it or not, whether we want to admit it or not. There's one creator and one creator only. He created the good and the bad, all for their own reasons, for his own reasons. In due season, they will all play their part. I'm working to make sure that the part I play is not on the bad side. I've done enough of that. I don't live there no more. Don't want to visit there. Don't even think about going there. The mission is today. And today, the mission is to save, to preserve life in whatever form it may be. Don't let unforgiveness rule you. Don't let bitterness rule you. Grudges. Hey, no, no, no. Dogs are trying to jump my kitty. They're new, so my dogs are not used to cats. We don't ever have, this is our first time getting cats. And dogs think that they're snacks. Oh, these little kitties are brave, though. Anywho, I hope this is making some sense to somebody out there who is struggling and who's just looking to break some chains and to be free. Free from the hate, free from the guilt, free from the bitterness. Your healing's not going to start, or it's not going to be completed until you learn to forgive. And with that forgiveness comes love. One of the hard things I've encountered is the love your enemies. Because I grew up a fighter. I grew up just letting you know how it is, not candy coating a damn thing. And it's been a ride, just kind of zipping it up and just letting y'all take care of it and watching it unfold. And let me tell you, he's been taking care of things a lot better than me. A lot better than me, than what I would have. I probably would have messed everything up. But just shutting my mouth and telling y'all you're in charge. He's provided time and time again. He loves me. And he loves you. But you have to accept the love. You have to believe the love. And then you got to work on that love. My animals are getting out of hand now, so I'm probably going to cut this short now, even though it's been 40 minutes. I love y'all. I hope you can see my heart. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I am no way, shape, or form a judge. Even though it's part of my personality, I don't play God. I don't pretend to be Him. There is only one, and it's the one that I kneel before, and it's the one that I praise, it's the one I fear, and it's the one that created the heavens and earth. Praying for you, for all of those who are hurting right now, who feel like they're stuck in dark places, who feel alone. You're not. Just call out to Him, seek Him, read His word. How do you get to know somebody without getting to know them? That book is here for a reason. It's so you can know Him, because He's physically not here. He can't dwell amongst the dirtiness in this world. He's too glorious for that. And if you can't understand that, again, read the Bible. It explains it all. If you can't read, or if you don't know how to read, or you don't like to read, there's audio Bibles. Listen to it. Almost everybody around here watches TV. They watch movies or listen to podcasts. Listen to the Bible. It's not hard, and it doesn't take long. Just effort. Just little bits of effort every day. It's a race. The race continues until you die. We're all going to die. But we're all not going to the same place. You know where you're going based off of your actions and how you live your life. Don't fool yourself. We're all meeting the same maker at the end. I love y'all. Again, I'm not judged. And I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for your spirit. I'm hoping we get to take as much people with us to heaven as we can. And I feel sorry for those who are making their beds in hell. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Oh, one more thing. When Joseph was sold by his brothers, or put in that ditch and picked up, and worked for Pharaoh in Egypt, he made himself a name. He was blessed in a lot of things. Even though he was taken away from his mother and father, and even though his brothers were cruel to him, at the end, when it came down to Joseph having to save their lives, he forgave them. He forgave them, and he said, what you meant for evil, Yah used it for good. And so, what the world might mean for evil for you, He can use it for good. I'm a living testimony that He can use it for good. And I give Him all the glory for it. Because there's no one on earth that could have turned those horrible things that happened to me into good. I can't think of one person other than Him. Hallelujah. Praise Him.